So we're live now. We'll just chill out here until we get some people checked in. I've got a couple links I need to get uploaded. So everybody just kind of sit tight. Steven, what's happening? How are you doing? Touch. What's up, Alex? Expo. Okay, then I gotta do this. Posting some links up here right now just for later on down the road talk. All right, Scott Hutchins, Texas checked in. How are you, buddy? You tell me how you guys did this weekend. Sounds like you guys had a good weekend. So getting some links posted up here, guys, so just bear with me a little bit. That's not the right one. Copy and pasted the wrong thing. That's what I needed. Paste. That's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. All right, I'll get there eventually. That's what I'm talking about right there. All right. Paste, that's it. This is the, let's see, flyers page. Don't need. Come on. Crazy thing. There we go. Scott Hutchins says thumbs up. They did a race in Texas this weekend because the weather's a little bit nicer and a little bit closer to home for our Texas crew. And so there's some fast kids in Texas. We have to try to get more races down here. Yeah, for sure. Send some of our kids down there. Of course, we're getting a pretty big big junior field right now too. So. Steven, that's playing. I haven't looked that much in the Arkansas forecast, so maybe you guys can help me a little bit. Gabe Edmonds, Arkansas, what's going on? We're going to try, Gabriel. We're going to try, man. That's our plan. I think I'm going to cut out of work early Friday, and Des gets off at noon, and then we're rolling out. So. Guess weather permitting, we may go up there and just hang out and drink beer. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Brian McGinnis, what's happening? Really, you're right. Yeah, you like that cap, huh? We'll talk about that. Quincy, you know it. We'll talk about those cheese puffs here in a minute. Quincy Simon, one of our folks from Kansas. We need to see you out racing again soon. Gabe says weather's shaping up for Saturday. Good. I like the sound of that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're a few minutes in. We've got quite a few people checked in, and just kind of start with the basics here. Corey White, Weekly Wizard Update, just talk bikes and racing and stuff. So it's kind of the thing. Haven't opened this yet. I got Tall Boy today. I had Tall Boy last week too, I think. So let me get that going there. Yeah, so Quincy's already mentioned the cheese puffs. So thanks to my terrible teammate, Brent White, he brought me another bucket because he knows that I have a weak spot for these things. This was brand new just a couple of days ago. Notice that it's getting a little bit down already, so we're down to about here. So might have to have a few of those here in a minute too as we get rolling. Bobby Reese, at Boulder Box. So I got various, hey, I actually shopped in the city this weekend, so on Podunk I can't get this. I got the old Franzia, so I'm keeping up with Team Winebox here. I got a little bit of going that Boulder box going here. I got a little Malbec this time. I'm usually a Merlot kind of guy, so it's Merlot's pretty solid. Brent checked in. Brent White just says no willpower. Man, not when it comes to these guys. Once you start, you just can't stop. It's terrible. Ryan Palumba says Modelo here this evening. That's pretty good. We had some of those last weekend when we were eating out. We ate at both Mexican food places in Ponca City and had some sweet Modelos with lime and salt in the glass and everything. What's happening to Jeremy Black? He's checking in as well. Big crew in tonight. Okay, so yeah, so we've talked about the Boulder box here that I had going on, and we've made fun of my cheese puffs that I love. So we'll get it rolling. Let's roll on into. Well, I'll go ahead and talk about. I'm all punked up here, so I have to move my beard again. So I've got the new Boulder Bash T-shirt on. They're on sale this weekend, so got me one of these guys, and I'm wearing my hat. I earned number 2 again this time. So Jason kicked my butt again at the end of the race. Seems to be the trend this year. So I got my number 2 ball cap going on here. So pretty stoked to have that, though. So it's all good. Good awards and good event. We'll talk about Ponk in a minute, though. We'll jump right into something I started a few weeks ago and just thought it was kind of fun. We'll just keep rolling with it. Little known wizard fact. Can't remember what we talked about last time, but I'm an avid reader. Most people probably don't expect that. Started reading when I was a little kid, and I read my first adult novel when I was probably in the 2nd or 3rd grade. I found Stephen King's Night Shift on the bus. Somebody lost it and left it on the floor, and I snatched it, and I thought it was cool looking. It had a hand with gauze on it and eyeballs coming through the fingers on the cover, and it's pretty creepy looking. So I hid it from my parents because obviously I was not supposed to be reading books like that in 2nd, 3rd grade. And I read the whole thing and loved it, and I've been reading Stephen King type books, forever. And I read a variety of things. I read, I don't know, I read a bunch of crap, basically. I don't care. It's all entertainment. It's not really anything that's advancing my life or anything, but it's fun and enjoyable, and it, kills the time. Scott Hutchins, no. Not that kind of adult reading. Oh, goodness. No, I read mystery novels, Dean Koontz, horror type stuff with Stephen King and all those good things. I don't know, I dive into magic, supernatural, I don't know, everything. I don't know. I don't really have any set trend. I just kind of float around. So anyway, little known trend. I read probably 250 books a year. I'm not like a normal reader that's an avid reader and they're like, oh, the real book is awesome. I don't know why everybody reads electronically, and I'm just the opposite. I can't stand reading a real book. I love everything electronic. It's so convenient. I can eat, drink, piddle around with my iPad, and I just touch it and switch the page. It remembers where my page is at. No bookmarks. It's perfect. Roy Pemberton just popped in and said Boulder Bash T-shirts can be purchased later this week at Pro Bike. So if you missed your chance, didn't get one, check in at Pro Bike, and they'll help hook you up. Nicole, yes, ma'am, I am. Team Winebox in the house, you bet. Did you guys have a good time tonight? It looks like you guys went out to the, I don't know if you guys did the crib, but it looks like you guys rode out to Wheeler Crib tonight. So chime in here in a bit and tell us how that went, and I'll air that. All right, that's really it. I got a couple updates that I changed my plan. I'm going to wait till the end to do those things. Still cycling related, but not Tour de Dirt necessarily. Make sure we're all covered over here on the messages. Yeah, we're good. So we're going to jump right into Oh, wait a second. I do have another update. So, yeah, I kind of changed my order of what I was going to do tonight. So, fairly semi-serious note, and I'm going to lead into it with, it started with an update. I just wanted to give an update on the Medicine Park Hoof Gully area. That's pretty much the Cat 3 course, if you guys remember. It was a controlled burn a while ago, right? Actually, I think like a day or two right after the race, and posted that up there. That was kind of before all the fires started that we had here in our state. So wasn't too big of a deal. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you an update on that. I know some of the guys have been riding it, but the information that we're getting at this point is technically it is closed until probably about Sunday. Although, like I said, I know we've had some people that have been riding it, because I've seen some posts about it. So just keep that in mind if you're planning on going up there and getting to ride this during the week or anything like that. That Hoof Gully West Side Cat 3 course is technically off limits according to the park until probably Sunday. Anyway, so enough with that. But that leads into just there's so many things going on in our state right now. We've had a bunch of stuff out here in Southwest Oklahoma. We've already got a ton of people in the Altus area near Martha that have been displaced. I think almost their entire town burned down. We've got stuff in the Weatherford type area out in that part of Oklahoma, which is kind of central Oklahoma, and then we've got also stuff up in the OKC area. So there's just stuff all over. We've got a ton of guys that are firemen that ride and burn camp, Turkey Mountain, all that good stuff. So we've got a lot of people that are involved in this, and just want to give our positive thoughts and hope everything and everybody is safe and sound. And that's pretty much it. So just keep our positive thoughts going with all them, and move on. All right, let's see if I've missed anything. Julian said we did not see the winners. Reddies are different. Yes, they are different. That's why you guys are checked in here, hanging out with me while I'm sipping on the wine, and I got my other little things going on here. So they're probably all up drinking their protein shakes and eating their kale. Taking one on Team Wine Box drinking beer night. There you go. Got all the bases covered. Okay, let's jump right into Ponca. Boulder Bash. Man, oh man, Oklahoma weather. Oklahoma weather is just ridiculous anyway. We're kind of used to it, but man, the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's been insane. It's been crazy even for Oklahoma. So. It's just part of the gig. I got a sunburn and almost dehydrated at the dirt crit Thursday prior to, and then it's below freezing the morning of our race on Sunday. And, gale force winds on Saturday and strong winds on Sunday, but ended up dying down. Crazy enough, it died down and for the awards ceremony and hanging out after in the parking lot. The weather was actually really nice. Wind died down, sun came out, temps came up to 50-ish, so it ended up being really, really kind of good. So it was just registration was not a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately, I think it scared a lot of people off, but you just can't control fair weathered folks. So you got to just suck it up and come on out and race your bike. And unfortunately, a lot of people just won't do that. So hopefully we'll guilt more of them into doing it when they see that we all had a great time and didn't let a little cold weather and a little wind keep us back. So so a little different this year. Boys, Ponca got Wentz Campground, which is that little park, has all the little castle-like cabins where we had the Kids Cup course, and also, there's a pool there. So in the past, if you've ridden there in the summer and things like that, you see all the, the town coming up there and they're going into the pool and taking their kids up there. It's just kind of a pool area. But they they basically gave us the free run of that place. The guys set up an awesome cyclocross type course for the Kids Cup. Had a bunch of wooden little features that were just super fun, not hard, but just really neat fun for the kids. And I mean, honestly, hell, I think half the adults spent time riding over there all warming up. I spent 30 minutes over there riding that course warming up. So it was a blast. And again, unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of kids out just because of the cold temps. We did change the race from 9 o'clock until 11, just to give it time to warm up, because it was below freezing that 9 o'clock time frame. So it was all good. Had a blast, and it was really gracious of the Wentz Campground people to give us the run of that place, and I hope they do that again next year. Give it a little weather, and I think that could be a super cool little place to hang out. And man, I can just imagine kids over there riding all day long while all the rest of us are racing. So and camping out. Obviously there'd be a ton of people that would be camping out there if the weather would be great. I think we had 2 brave souls brave it, and I know Heath Arning had his set up out there, and he camped out regardless. And Austin Edgar from Tulsa came down. He camped out in his tent, and so he said the wind noise drove him crazy and got a little chilly, but they survived it. So Jeremy says, embrace the suck. There you go. That and rule number 5, isn't it? Right? Just man up. Come on. Conditions may suck, but you just got to pull your man card and come do it. Yes, good stuff. Sue's texting me real quick. Will do, Brent. Buddy mine just texted me, and I actually have that on the notes. Darren Moore, sacrificing live chickens is the only way to have good weather. It's team warm-up cycling team way. I saw that post earlier on Facebook, Darren, so we'll leave that up to our TLC folks to decide if they need to do that this weekend or not. So a love chicken or a live chicken. So yeah, there's some discussion about that now. Let's see, more about Ponca. Come on, let's see. Course was great. I don't know. It's funny because, you get the courses like this, especially with Ponca, and you just get such mixed reviews. Some people, it's like so hard for them, and they're just like, man, the course was hard. Gosh. And there's other people that just love it, and I'm one of those that I love that course. It really fits my skills. And it's hard, but it's not hard. To me, the only part that's even semi-hard, I don't even think the boulder section is not even the hardest part. Hell, for me, the climb along the fence at the end at Muskrat Maze is the hardest part. Damn climb kills me. But anyway, love that course. It's there's sections that are rocky that people are worried about, and man, if you just really just turn loose and just motor, you can just motor through that stuff. And anyway, I had a good race, raced 3 laps, had a good battle. There was 4 of us in my group battling it out. I had to play catch up after getting dropped by all the geared guys right out of the gate, and then fought my way up and ended up in the hunt right at the very end, and made a little mistake and got stick stuck in my deal, and yeah, ended it. But hey, it was all good fun and good racing and cool stuff. I didn't think the heckling and the videos from the heckling. Now the videos haven't come out yet. I'm just waiting on those. I remember last year, and you guys remember this. So we had hecklers, and it was kind of a new experience, and we've been trying to do stuff like this and coax people into doing it. And our main guy, Steve Cordis, is he comes out with the megaphone every now and then and does some heckling. He's kind of our go-to heckler, and he's kind of perfected his skills, and he gave the heckling guys 2 thumbs up this year. So I'm it's great having 2 sections really where they were heckling, and I wasn't all heckling and giving a hard time. Some of it was positive and laughing, and the riders were yelling back at them. It's all good. It's all in good fun. But they had a group down in the Boulder section, and then there was a whole other big crew up in Muskrat Maze right at the start-finish areas. So it was super cool to get hit with 2 spots with just crazy people, crazy fans yelling, and us yelling back, and it's going to be fun. I cannot wait for the videos to come out. So, I watched those heckling videos last year over and over. They were so cool. So it was good. Good times. Matthew Armstrong, love that chorus. Hey, right at you, brother. Glad we got to, glad you pre-rode with us on Saturday. So enjoyed that. John Denton checking in. What's going on? Guess he's got his phone charged today. So here we go. Let me a little taste it. It's a little blueberry. I'm back to that again. Blueberry vodka, pretty tasty. I think everyone had a pretty good time. I didn't really see anybody that was too bummed. Everybody was smiling. Everybody seemed to have good days. So promoters did a great job. So their second time, so they're a little experienced. We ran into a few little issues, but nothing that wasn't corrected. And registration went smooth. Had a lot of help there, and second year's a charm, knocked that stuff out. So they did great, and courses prepped well, and start-finish area was good, and had some music. And unfortunately, I didn't get to hear too much. I was out on the course all dang day, but they had some cold beers waiting for us when we were done, and that was quite tasty. Coop Ale Works donated some tasty beverages, and I'm not sure there were too many left by the time we were all done. So, so thumbs up, and thanks to all you Cat 3s for saving me some when we got done. Let's see. Oh, I do want to say, one new thing. So, I thought it was good timing, and I know they had to really, really push through to get it done, but they've been working on that sign. So if you guys saw the pictures of the podiums, or you were down there with the podiums, where they've got the big, welcome sign, entry sign for the trail, they just got that done literally the week before the race. And man, what a perfect place to have the podiums. And I think Wentz Manufacturing, Mertz. I knew there was a Z. It's Mertz Manufacturing. I think it's the crew, the group that really hooks them up with all that metal work and material, and basically just donates all that stuff. I think they get people to come in and do some work, on it, but it's all free stuff. So the city helped. I'm not sure all's involved there, but that's a pretty awesome trailhead sign. So thumbs up to the community and Ponca City and everybody else involved there, and the crew at Ponca who organizes all that. You guys have made some huge strides over the last couple of years, and stoked that you guys are involved with us and we're involved with you, and I'm just going to keep doing it, keep making it bigger and better, and good stuff. So John Denton says, he's starting to build up his left arm, just saying. So I think there was a heckle involved, something to do with an arm warmer and things like that. So we might have to say more on that later. So no one crampy, you're late. Yes, you are late, but you're still here for the good stuff. So no, the winos haven't been giving me too big of a hard time. They're out riding their bikes, so taking tells no one just to drink your beer and we'll catch you up. So all right, good stuff. So hey, again, if you guys have questions, comments, or things like that you want me to respond to, just pop in and do that. I will take a little break. I had one note that I was going to lead into Ponca with, and I actually kind of skipped that, so I'm going to go back and hit that. So our Ponca trip, well, first of all, it started out a little sketchy. So we got there and we did a little pre-ride, and I just want to give a shout out to, I'm not sure who all was there, but I know the Cordises, Stephen and Angela were there to help her out, and John Shears for taking her to the emergency care. But we had a little pre-ride accident, and Des clipped a tree on one side and hit a tree on another, and it wasn't anything big, but it was just a weird hit with her handlebars smacking a tree, and it just smacked her finger and didn't break anything, but it just ripped the skin open. So she ended up with 5 stitches in her pinky and then another cut in her finger, and they'd already kind of had her taken care of by the time we got done with our lap. And and then John Shears took her to the urgent care for us, and we got stitched up, and we were all good. We went straight to go to dinner and have dinner with the team. And so, a few stitches and all good to go. Just wanted to say, thumbs up. Thanks for everybody for, taking care of us and getting it all looked up, and we're all good. And Al talked to her, and she rode her trainer tonight. She rode 40 miles on the road yesterday. So, well, it's all good. John Shears checked in. Hey, Wiz. Yep, you bet. You guys did a great job, John. So we apply to be hecklers, or we just do it? Nicole, there's no application. You just do it. Nicole Caldwell says, so do we apply to be hecklers, or do we just do it? So I don't know. We might have to have a vetting process for that. That might be kind of interesting. So no, more hecklers, the better. It's so much fun. It's like bringing a little bit of cross to mountain bike. It's a good mix. Just imagine if we went and heckled the roadies at the crit race. Man, they'd have a cow. It'd be great. They'd all be pissed off and mad. Ooh, Heath. Heath apologized for being late. No apologies necessary. He says it's got hickory smoked burgers on the grill. I cooked some steaks tonight right before here, so. But, man, those sound really good. All right, another update. Ponca again as well, too. So we had a good buddy of ours and our teammate, Bike Lab teammate, Danny Murphy. He had a little spill last week at the dirt crit and banged up his shoulder is an understatement. Broke his bike, broke his fork. I mean, it was a pretty big deal. And we got him off course, and he was okay. I mean, okay considering. And I think Garrett Myers maybe got him to the hospital, and Stephen Cordes got him off the course with his truck. And he, we've talked to him off and on, throughout the week, and he made it to Boulder Bash this weekend. I guess he was, he's in a sling, got a broken collarbone in like a gazillion places, and bored out of his mind. So luckily, one of our teammates was able to hook up with him and haul him down, and so he got to come hang out and watch the race in his sling. And I think him and Des took a picture of their injuries together. One of the shots you guys saw on Facebook. So thumbs up to Danny, and I will give an update. He is not a Facebook or social media guy, so you guys will know, but he won't be hearing about it unless someone tells him. I got a private message from him. Well, several of us did, and his surgery today was successful and fine. It went as expected. He thought there were 3 pieces of the collarbone floating around, but it turns out there were actually 4 pieces when they got in there. So they've got it all patched up, stapled, bolted, bracketed, and whatever else they do. And looks like everything's good. Prognosis is good. 6 weeks until he can ride the trainer and, go from there. So, again, thumbs up. Glad surgery went well, and we're looking forward to being back on the bike. And I guess he'll be riding a single speeder because he's got a single speed backup bike, and now that his frame's broke. So, I guess we got, looking forward to the end of maybe the last 3 races of the season. He'll be back and ride some single speed with you guys. So, cool. Okay. Moving on. Keystone. Man, oh man, I'm at 30 minutes. I may break an hour today, unless you guys start asking me all kinds of crazy questions. Keystone coming up. TLC, Transitions Life Care. These guys took on this venue. we've not done Keystone, I guess, for 2 years. Sound Pony and the crew just changed direction. They had some other things that they were doing, and one of the things they're doing right now that was their change of direction we'll talk about here in a minute, and it is super awesome. But when they let that go, we didn't really have a place for it, so we just let it go, and we went with some other venues, and we just decided to come back, and TLC showed some interest, and we jumped on that, and we got to working with them, and we're able to make that happen. So I'm stoked, and I'm super stoked to have TLC on board and Tour de Dirt. I mean, they do a lot with cross. That's typically where you see those guys a little bit, maybe some on the road, mostly cross. And you can recognize them because, man, I don't even know how to explain their kits. They're like the most colorful. I mean, they've got, I don't even know what all colors and designs, but if you don't recognize the TLC guys, then yeah, something's up. John Bueno, what's happening? No, I don't have a top hat, man. It's stashed away, so that's why I have the top hat in the picture of the event page. So I need to dig that thing out of my stash of stuff. So I'll get one for you. I was telling somebody last week I need a staff too, a staff and a top hat, and that'd be the double whammy. We'd be good to go. So Keystone right now, race next weekend. I mean, it's already hit the waves, and Bobby Reese, thumbs up, brother. He's already jumped on it. He's keeping on top of things. He's already made a post talking about the weather, because if we don't stay out ahead of it, then we're going to get tons of questions on people asking the same old things over and over. So if you start asking those questions, you might go to my YouTube page. I think I posted, I think I'll tag that on here. If I didn't, I'll tag it later on one of the comments. I have a bunch of videos. I've been doing this for a couple months now. And one of my very first videos talks about the weather, because it was talking about Turkey Mountain. And go watch that, and I'll pretty much give you the scoop on the weather. So don't go just bombing questions over and over on Tour de Dirt page about the weather and the race and the conditions, whether we're going to have it, whether we're going to cancel it. You know, we can't make those calls now. We make those calls at the end of the week based on the weather forecasts. And we wait until the last minute. We wait until Saturday at noon, which typically gives most everybody time to ride. Time to stop their drive or still drive in. I don't think that's going to be the case this weekend. So I looked at the forecast. It's changing, and it'll change. Obviously, it always changes a little bit. So it's pushing through and looking like we're, 60% chance here and there on Saturday and Sunday. But you know how that means. It means it could rain buckets. It could rain nothing. I was looking at Manford, which is 10 miles away. So it's hard to tell. We'll play it by ear, but honestly, I think we'll be good. There's not a lot of mud. I heard someone talk about peanut butter mud on one of the posts, and you actually don't get that at Keystone. Everything's very sandy there. There are creek crossings there, but those creek crossings are wet 24/7 anyway. They're wet now. I mean, you cross the water at least twice all year there. So, I mean, those will be a little bit higher, but big deal. You're still, it's wet. Rocks will be a little slippery, but who knows? It's I imagine we have this race. I can't imagine that it's going to be canceled. A little rain's not going to stop it unless we just get some crazy, flood, which doesn't look like that's the case. So anyway, there's that, and I'd say plan to race. I've raced it wet. I've raced it dry. I've raced it when it's been 4,000 degrees, and it all has its challenges and conditions. So, man up. Rule number 5. Don't know what rule number 5 is? Look it up. Currently, course is in great shape. Nothing has changed that. I pre-rode about 3 weeks ago, and I've talked to several people that have pre-ridden over the last couple of weeks. Even this week, I've seen some posts. It's still marked. They've got I don't know what color the ribbons are. I don't know. I'm colorblind anyway, so I don't really pay attention to the color that much. But it's marked ribbons on the right. There are sewer lagoons there, and those are right at the end of the parking lot. We will start and stage on the opposite side of that. So where the parking lot is, you can take the little double track around all the way to the other side of the lagoons, and that's where the race will start. And that gives us a good run in. We start there and we run and blaze down that little double track, and then we dive into the trail that's right there. And then we'll come out and cross the edge of the parking lot for our multiple laps. So Bobby Reese just popped in and says pink and orange ribbons. So on the right, and it's been marked on, I mean, hell, I think it's been marked for a month and a half. So, and Keystone's, one of those places like some of our trails where they don't get a lot of cross traffic. So the traffic they get are all cyclists and people that are respectful for the trail. So nobody's ripping those things down and taking them down. So it's still marked and marked well, and those guys have been doing an awesome job. So, let's see. I think I've talked about this trail before, and for you guys that are new that maybe don't know this, so it's another pretty technical trail. I don't know that it's more technical or less technical than Ponca City for you guys that have done that. I think it's similar as Ponca City in that there's not a lot of elevation. There's not a lot of climbing change. There are some, but the technical aspects make up for that. It's bumpy. I would say it's bumpy. There are 2 or 3 really hard sections where you might have to dismount and get off and run through if you can't get it clean. But for the most part, everything else is rideable. It's just super, super rough. So it's going to be a full body workout. But it's just kind of part of the gig. It's nothing super scary, and it's just hard, but it's fun. It's fun. The backside, there's several sections that you're just flying and smooth and curving through the trees, and you get to the some of the more rocky sections. So they do have a new section that's pretty cool. It'll take a little bit of getting used to. I've only ridden it, that one time. I did 3 laps on it. It's called Serpentine. And again, I'm still not sure when that came to be. It's been a couple of years since I've been on there, and I don't remember that. So, but it's now on the trail, and it's quite a big section. So, with the addition of that Serpentine, the way we get to the backside and loop around for our multiple laps, it ends up making this about, it's a little under 6 miles. So I'm thinking it's probably 5.8, 5.9 maybe. Just depends on your Garmin. Everybody's going to be a little different, but so just a smidgen under 6 miles. We did make this announcement several weeks ago after looking at some times, and we are going to do, we had originally planned on doing 4 laps, 3 laps, and 2 laps for the 1s, 2s, and 3s. We're going to bump that down, and we're going to stick with our standard, which is 3 laps, 2 laps, 1 lap for the 1s, 2s, and 3s. So I think that's been discussed on Facebook, and it's on the flyer. So everything's taken care of. I just wanted to, say that one more time. Let's see. Andrew Foster, what's going on? Andrew popped in and says, wait, we don't ride in the mud, do we? Well, I tell you, Andrew, there's a whole, it depends on the trail. It depends on whether you have an event scheduled or not, and depends on a variety of things. So, some trails are more sensitive when it comes to the terrain as well as the publicity. So you have to be more careful, but a lot of trails are not. And, Turkey Mountain was one that we took a risk on as well, and look what we did. We rode in the mud, and, a lot of people were giving Ray and those guys crap about that. You're tearing our trail up. You're doing all this damage. Well, I tell you what, I venture a guess right now, after all the work they did to repair all that, you go out there and there's not one damn thing that you can tell from what we did when we rode in the mud. trail's in better condition now than it was then because of all the work they did afterwards to repair it. And that's the case most of the time. So I think a lot of people you definitely should not ride muddy trails, obviously, if you're just riding to ride, or if you're not involved in the one, taking care of it. But if you have an event, you're the promoter, you decide to have it, you know that you're going to fix it when it's done, it's all good. These trails are a lot tougher than people give them credit for. And when you've got a event promoter in a group that's willing to come in and take care of it afterwards, it's all good. And if we have to do that at Keystone, we'll do that. It's no problem. It happens all the time. It's all good. Just got to be smart about it. Got to know when you can and when you can't do it. So, Heath, you're killing us there. He's still talking about how good his burgers smell. So you're making me hungry. Making me hungry. Andrew says, I raced it, was fun. Yes, you did. You did well, too. Oh, man. PBR, some good stuff, guys. Time frames. So pretty much the standard time frame we've been using this year. We always fluctuate a little bit, and it changes as the weather changes, but you just never know what you're going to get this time of year. But we're looking at 9:30 Kids Cup for Keystone. We're looking at 10:35 Cat 3s. And then we're going to go 12:30 and 12:35 for the Cat 1s and Cat 2s. So looks like we're going to give pretty much 2 hours for the Cat 3s to go ahead and clear the full course. So being that this is a small course, we want to give them plenty of time and clear off. And then we'll jump out and we'll do our laps and we'll finish up and have a good time. So John Bueno just popped in. He said he's not taking any of Heath's trash talk. He says he's got gumbo going. So there you go, Heath. Got a little challenge there with John Bueno's gumbo. So you guys are gonna have to show us some pictures later. So, all right, I'm looking forward to Keystone. It's gonna be a good time. So let's see how I plan on jumping into the next one here. So I will say that he's taking the challenge. So I will say that this Keystone weekend is going to be a little bit iffy for us. Us, not you guys, but us, a handful of us. We've got several people from our bike lab team. And I know there's a few other guys too. We are doubling up this weekend. We had registered for a race over New Year's, actually, called the Boulder Bash. Arkansas, we love going up there. It's one of our go-to places. This is actually in Bentonville. Man, it froze. It was like 13, 14 degrees and ice on the ground. And so they canceled it. And, man, they rescheduled for Keystone weekend. So it's a Saturday race. And, a lot of us just said, screw it, we're going to do it. So I may die on Sunday, but we're going to go up and do a marathon race. Again, if the weather holds. I haven't looked at the forecast. Gabe Edmonds, my buddy from Arkansas and fellow single speeder, did check in a minute ago and said it looks like the weather's shaping up a little bit better in Arkansas. So it looks like it may be a pretty good day for that. But anyway, we're going to do that. I think it's like a 40-ish, 45-mile marathon race that does some pavement and some bike path that goes through Slaughter Pen, Blowing Springs, back 40 and back. And so we're going to knock that out, and then we're going to blaze, and we're actually staying with Heath in Tulsa, and then we're going to come up to Turkey and do our best to race there. So, yeah, we're going to double up anyway. So for those of you that, interested in doing that, just give us a shout. I'm sure there'll be day of reg, so you can come up and do the double up too. So, Fort Smith, what's happening from Wisconsin? Trekland. Frozen tundra, dude. I saw some of the pictures up there. Son of a bitch, I'm gonna quit whining about the wind and the chilly weather up here. I look up there and you guys have freaking snow and shit on the ground. So, man, oh man, Makes me think Oklahoma crazy ass weather's not so bad. Guys still trash talking now. We still got Bueno and Heath Arney trash talking about their food. So, okay, I think that wraps all that. All right, I've got two final things, and then I'll just close if you guys have any questions or things. Let me go back to my notes that I had. Okay, so first of all, let me say that the next two subjects that I'm going to talk about, I made posts or comments with links at the very, very top. So if you go to the top of this thread and look, there are 3 links. And I wanted to go ahead and have those available and have them up top for anybody that wanted those. Again, I can make those available, and they are available in various places on Oklahoma Earth Bike Fellowship, Tour de Dirt page. We're going to just light all the pages up with all of these links because they're both really good causes. So I'm going to start with the very first one. I mean, there's 2. That's the very first one. There's 2. I'm going to start with the first one. And it is OEF has kind of spearheads this, but it's not an OEF thing. Every year they have the Oklahoma Wildlife Expo. Pretty sure it's out in that kind of towards Guthrie, and I don't know. There's an expo center out there. I can't remember exactly anyway, but there's a link to it and all that. You guys are probably familiar with it. They have it every year, and they have for a long time. And over the last few years, they've allowed, I don't know if it's OEF necessarily, but Cycling OEF has helped organize that to have a booth and to try to, get cycling out there to other people. Unfortunately, this does fall on the this is September 22nd, 23rd. Unfortunately, that's the weekend of St. Crispin's. I think that's right. Yeah, right. That is right. So, so it's going to make it hard for a lot of us racers to get out there. But I know there's plenty of you guys out there that are not necessarily into racing, that are involved in cycling. So I made a link out there. It's president at OKEarthBike.com. President at OKEarthBike.com. And send a message to that and say, I want to be involved, and they'll take care of you and hook you up. There's a variety of ways to be involved. I mean, we're going to have a booth. I think we're going to have try to just have people out there riding and on bikes and in helmets and in kits and showing kids, just talking to people about stuff, and kids and adults, and who knows what all is going to be out there. Heather Watts, Lazy E Arena. Thank you. I completely blanked on that. Cody Pollard doing Peddler's Bash on a single speed. Cody, nice. I didn't know you had a single speed. I'm stoked, buddy. We need more single speeders. So you need to ride single speed in Tour de Dirt. That's what you need to do. Just saying, Cody Pollard. We need to get some single speeders going. So a lot of us left and went to category. I'm still racing my single speeding category, but man, we need to pull some single speeders back out. We need to get that field. We need to get that field growing. But anyway, president at OKEarthBike.com. I don't exactly know the full agenda for that, but if you want to get involved in whatever way, just email that address that I just gave, and they'll hook you up and schedule a time. If you can just show up out there, just show up. I don't know my plan. I mean, like usual, I will be Saturday. If there's Saturday events at St. Crispin's, then that takes care of things. But maybe I can sneak over there in the evening after the events and make a show for Tour de Dirt. We'll just kind of see how the schedule plays out. But I'd like to be a part of that as well too. Anything to show off mountain biking and cycling and bikes to people. It's good, draw more people in, and it's a good lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, good friends. It's a healthy community. Hugh Arnie says, and Cody Pollard, soon to be new Expedition van owner. I saw that post, pretty sweet looking. So okay, I think that covers that. All right, next one. So the next one is new, but it's newer for Oklahoma City. So if you've been to some of our races and you have noticed that there's been a huge influx of juniors and young kids racing. At every race, we have a minimum of 10 juniors racing in the Cat 3 field. Often it's 15, 16, 17. And a lot of this has to do with the push that started in Tulsa with Sound Pony. And you mentioned a minute ago when I talked about Sound Pony getting out of the racing with Keystone and going into a different direction. One of these different directions was going into the this direction, and that is, Mike Wozniak with Sound Pony is one of the primary guys that has started this Oklahoma Flyer push. And basically what it is a nonprofit organization that they've gathered up all kinds of sponsors and people and community to come together, and their goal is to try to get young riders into cycling, especially those who may not have access. It's easy to say, hey, we just need to get some young kids to come out and race. All we do is need to make stuff available. Well, the reality of it is there's a lot of times where there are kids that might be interested in this, but they just physically can't make it happen. They don't have the funds, the family, the finances, just their situation just doesn't allow that to happen. Through this program, though, they're going into schools now with some other, coinciding with some other programs, and just making this, making so many children aware that this is an option. And they even help with equipment at times, and they help with gear, helmets, and it's an amazing thing, and it's really, really taken a hold in Tulsa and our Oklahoma City crew, and we've got quite a few people involved. And I don't know everybody that's involved. I know OEF was originally involved. I know that Kevin Caldwell is involved. Tegan Malone is involved. I know that Chad Watts is involved. There are probably many more, and honestly, I don't know who is involved. And they're doing some great work here in Oklahoma City to mirror and kind of almost branch out and do the very same thing here in Oklahoma City. Because I say here in Oklahoma City, I'm not in Oklahoma City. I'm in Southwest Oklahoma, but I consider Oklahoma City kind of my go-to, my home base. And so they are starting this, and they have their debut coming up soon. And I put links out to that. And the debut is going to be at Arcadia Lake. And it is going to be Sunday, May the 6th, 1 to 5 p.m. Sunday, May 6th, 1 to 5. Oklahoma Flyer debut, Arcadia Lake. And they're going to do that at the, what did they say? There's a place there. At the Outdoor Recreation Center. There's an outdoor recreation center. So everything's going to register there, start and finish there. Again, in the links above, I put 2 links. There is a link that goes to an Eventbrite link, and I put that out there, and that is for volunteers. They need volunteers. Some of the spots are already filled, but you can go out to that Eventbrite link, click on that, and see what volunteer spots are available. They need help with registration. They need help with following some of the riders and just a few other different things. And anyway, it'd be really cool for you to get involved. And then there is also a link to their Facebook event page as well too. Again, the key to all this is it's for pretty much any kids age 5 through 23. So 23 is really kind of old, and probably the kids we're looking at are younger. But hey, that's 5 to 23 is the range. It's free. There's no cost. Heather just chimed in, Heather Watts, and says, yes, we need volunteers. So go to that Eventbrite page and sign up. And heck, if they fill all their slots in that Eventbrite page, who cares? Show up and say, hey, I want to help. I guarantee they'll find something for you to do. Also at that, again, May 6th, Sunday 1 to 5, they're going to have the firemen from Edmond Fire Department are going to come out. And they're going to have an obstacle course so that the kids can do some work with some kids on how to ride bikes and help with a variety of different things in the obstacle course. It's going to be music, food. It's going to be fun. They're going to ride bikes. If you don't have a bike or you don't have a helmet, but you're interested and you can ride a bike, they can provide that for you. You just need to kind of let them know, make contact, and they will make that happen. So Heather Watts also chimed in. Chad and Heather Watts are involved in this. They said that they had a great group of riders tonight at Bluff Creek. So I don't have the link to that, Heather. If you can drop that link in here in a comment, I would love to have that. But they have started a Tuesday weekly ride at Bluff Creek. Hopefully she'll drop the link in here if they have an event page or something like that here in a minute. And so that is something that they're doing weekly with this Oklahoma Flyers group. So anyway, just Google this, look this up, pass the word around. If you're not sure, ask me, ask Chad or Heather Watts, hit up OEF, Tegan Malone, hit up Kevin Caldwell at Team Phoenix, Badger Coaching, and hey, let's make this happen. This is a big move. A lot of people are putting a lot of time in. This is very important. We've seen a huge impact in Tulsa, and I can't wait to see the impact that we have here in Oklahoma City with this as well. Andrew Foster just messaged in above Heather's. I didn't see his. He says there was about 25 tonight at Bluff. Had 25 people, 25 kids out of Bluff tonight. So, man, how awesome is that? Gunner Wright, need to get Nike involved in the group. Gunner, that is a plan, and that is a work in progress, and I'm waiting for that to kind of get fleshed out a little bit. I know a couple people that are involved in that, and as soon as they get that rolling, they get that rocking, and we're going to get that on here. And I'm probably actually going to do some interviews with people that are involved in that as well too. So Gunner, definitely a good point, and we'll get them on here for sure. All right. Well, I'm about ready to wrap up unless you guys have anything else to post. So what's happening, guys?
Not much.
Yeah, whatever. No, I'm good.
They're not spicy.
Yeah, whatever. I need barbecue? No, okay. Thank you. My boy's just rolling in from a little event, so.
Man, my heart looking
Mr. Jensen sitting down.
Mr. Jared going in.
Jared's bailing. He's leaving, so he's a wuss.
Are those cheese balls open to the public?
They are. You want some?
Mm-hmm.
Dig in.
Elaborate.
Hey, Brent White, check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's moving. Little John, send rain gear my way needed. Did a 62 gravel grinder, had bighorn sheep run up on me. Thought I was going to head. But where are you riding, Little John? You're in the Colorado. No, where are you at? You're in the New Mexico area now, right? You're riding some crazy stuff.
You're so good.
Heather Watts, Gunner Wright, I'm the coach for Fort Smith. Gunner, you are. Okay. So Gunner Wright, definitely. I'll make contact with you here in just a bit, and after we get off this live feed. I'm pretty much done at this point and just answering questions. But yeah, man, I'll hit you up. And I don't really know exactly what all's going on here in Oklahoma with that. But I can contact the people and put you in contact with them if you're not already, if you hadn't already reached out to them. So we'll make that happen, brother. Okay, let's check the notes. And if you guys have any questions, you better pop in pretty quick because I think I'm fixing to call this one. One last thing. So for the Oklahoma Flyers, Mace Taos. Yes, Taos. I knew that. I just couldn't pull that off the top of my head. So jealous. Oklahoma Flyers, May 6th, Arcadia. They need a generator. There's zillions of you guys out there with generators. So I'm loaning them a sound system, but it would be really cool if someone had a generator that they can loan them. So Kevin Caldwell would be the contact. You can just contact me if you want, and I can make that happen. Or Chad or Heather Watts, either one would be great contacts. They both commented on this, so you can see their link and their name in the comment section. So let's make that happen. So I've got a sound system going to them that I'm taking up in 2 weeks at the next Dirt Crit. I'm missing this week because of some travel stuff, but I'll be there the week after, and I'm going to bring the sound system up. So if someone can hook up with me or them and get a generator going, then we need to make that happen. So, all right. That's it. I'm out. If you guys have some comments and I miss it, then just post it and I'll still try to respond later. So enjoyed it. See y'all guys later.